Hello, everybody. My name is Sophie, and welcome to the Bookhater Club episode 11. 11! Can you believe it? I just realized I forgot my notepad, so let me get that up here. I'm so happy you're here today, joining me on our newest episode of the Bookhater Club podcast after not uploading for, let me check, I think 7 days. Sorry, I'll tell you why. Yes, 7 days is my last review. It was Divine Rivals. So sorry, guys, but my next read, in case you're wondering, is right here. Can you see it in the back? Once Upon a Broken Heart, and I'll tell you why I'm reading it. But if you're new here, my name is Sophie. I am a booktuber and a book hater, which is why I'm the president of the Bookhater Club. I post rant reviews most of the time, reading vlogs, and I also do this podcast. And we discuss silly little bookish topics, and I'm so not happy that this happened, but I have to say that this thing happening on Booktok gave me a whole podcast episode to talk about something, because I had a different topic planned, but I think this topic that we're going to talk about is intriguing enough for me to do a whole episode on it, okay? And we'll get to it. There will be timestamps in the description box, as always, in case you don't want to hear about something. You can check out what I talk about and then skip to that part, because I do talk a lot, which you do know if you're not new here. But if you're new here, you probably don't know that yet, because how would you know? So before we start, I want to give a shout out, of course, to my book haters, my members. You can become a member on my channel. There's also a link in my description box. You get my videos 24 hours early and a shout out, and you get to vote on my next read. And my book haters decided that I should read Once Upon a Broken Heart. The other options that I gave were Red Queen by Victoria Aveyard, which is right here, and then also Book Lovers by Emily Henry, which is in the back, and there was one more. Dance of Thieves by Marie E. Pearson was also an option, but they didn't want that, which is fine. And the next round, the next vote that will be happening at some time after I finish Once Upon a Broken Heart, will include new books, different books. So if you're interested in voting on my next reads, you can consider becoming a member. My current members are Haley B, Ashley Ranger B, Mrs. Preminger, Trinity ELW, and Clara S. And I love you so much. And if we hit 10 members, that's 6 members, if we hit 10 members, I thought I'm going to do something special. I have a secret video. Oh my god, no, I talked about this before, but one time when I started this channel, so that was like 3 or 4 years ago, I did a video where I made a movie commentary, and the movie commentary was on Ruby Red by Kirsten. I don't remember her name, actually. I never read Ruby Red, Peace and Love. I never read that series, but it's a German series that was translated into English. It was really popular. Germany, shout out, they made a movie. They made a whole trilogy. They filmed all 3 books. They made it into movies, and I did a movie commentary on it. I watched in German. I did my own subtitles and everything, and then I uploaded it, and it got copyrighted. So I put it on private. I didn't know what to do. I didn't get like a strike or anything. It wasn't anything serious. It's just that I can't monetize it, and that people, this is important if you want to become a member, but if you're from the country of Germany, shout out, unite, or maybe don't. That historically, that's been bad. If you're from the country of Germany, Switzerland, or Austria, you will not be able to view that video because it is copyrighted and restricted in those countries. I can watch it. I made it, but if I were to put it on public, you will not be able to view the video. So if you're like, oh, I want to become a member and see that, you should become a member still, but you won't be able to see it. But I will make it exclusive for my members. If I do hit 10 members, but I thought I'm going to give like a little incentive, because I think, even though it was a while ago that I made that video, it's funny. I thought I was being funny, and I actually wanted to review the other videos, but then I got that strike, and I don't think I will be able to make any movie commentaries because of copyright issues, because Germany is very strict with copyright and very difficult. It's not like America where you can just watch anything. Well, you can do it in America, but it's easier to do it in America than in Germany to react to things, and so sadly I can't do that anymore, because I would love to do movie commentaries on like book adaptations, book to movie adaptations, but I can't. So you will be able to watch it though if you're from any other country. I think it says it at least on my YouTube app. So shout out to my members. Thank you so much for being members. Thank you too much. Thank you too much. You can never be too thankful. Thank you also to everyone who's just viewing this video normally. I do have to say I got paid. I got paid by YouTube. I got paid this month, and it's now much more like, I talked about this. I don't know if I talked about it last podcast episode or the one before that, about how YouTube compensation works, but you have to get 70 euros a month for them to pay you, and if you don't make it in 1 month, you have to wait until it adds up to 70 euros. And now I get 11 euros, I think. I don't actually know, 11 or 10. No, 11 euros and 4 cents from my memberships. So it's not much easier, but it's easier for me to reach the 70 euros, or I reach them faster. And so it's more likely for me to get paid by YouTube much more often. And I got paid last month or this month. It's still September, so I got paid this month, but they pay by like on the 20. They just paid me recently, okay, guys? You know, don't be on my ass about this. They did pay me, and I did place an order. And the things haven't come in yet, but I will show them in my vlog, in my reading vlog. I ordered a new softbox for lighting. I ordered camera batteries because they run out so quickly on this camera. It's already down by 1. That's the worst thing about this camera. Other than that, we love it, okay? And what else did I order? I ordered something else, but I forgot. Anyway, I'll show you, and it's all with my YouTube money. And as I said, the money that I make through YouTube goes back into the YouTube. It's all investments for the channel and everything. So I'm just proving it to you, okay? I'm not scamming you out of your money. I hope. I mean, it's for you to decide, you know. Oh my god, I just got a message from YouTube. Look at your weekly recap. I don't think I will do that. I didn't upload so much because, guys, this is the big news. Why didn't I upload? Sophie is going back to university. Sophie, our new semester just started. My new semester started, and I'm really stressed out. And so if you don't hear from me, or you don't see new videos coming out, because people that watch the podcast episodes are usually the subscribers that watch most of my videos, which I'm really thankful for. It's because I'm at university. I'm crying because I have to study, and I don't like it. I am not having a good time, and it's a lot of work this semester. Just a lot of, I signed up for a lot of courses, and I've talked about it before. I'm going to say it again. I can't do math, and I kind of hate talking about it, to be honest, because even though I did talk about university in one of my podcast episodes, and a lot of people commented that they could relate to it, which I love that, okay? I personally felt so seen when people were like, oh my god, same girl. Like, I didn't finish my first major on my second. I was like, oh my god, you know, because no one ever talks about it, and I hope that other people who maybe saw that also felt a little bit better about themselves, because I was really depressed about it for a long time. So, what do I want to say about that? Oh yeah, I'm doing a lot of math this semester, and it's not like I can't do it. I'm just lazy. I'm just too lazy to do anything and to study and to actually sit down and do it. And I get frustrated very quickly. And so this entire semester is just me doing math every week, every day. And if you don't hear from me, just know that I'm doing math. Not meth, which would be more fun. Allegedly, I don't know. Also, another thing for the members, I'm thinking about reading a sequel, either a sequel or maybe I'll do both, because I don't know yet. I don't know how university will be, because I think my exams are by the end of January, so we still have time, but we're already stressing. I will either read in December for Christmas, because Christmas, you know, you're like in a joyful mood, and you're supposed to be thankful, and you're supposed to be happy and forgiving and shit like that. So I was thinking about reading a sequel to a series that I started here, that I reviewed already, the first book, and I just were like, I'm not going to read the sequel, or a different book by an author whose other book I've already read. Either or maybe both. I don't know if either or means both or only one. I don't know what that means, actually. Why do people, you know, I don't really know English that well. So that's also something I'll have the members vote on, okay? They get exclusive rights to my next reads. And if you want to have a little bit of a say on that, you can consider becoming a member. Love you. I love my members, and I love you all. And I'm thinking about, I wanted to talk about something else before we got into the topic. Well, actually, the topic for today was supposed to be authors publishing 2 books of one series in the same year. I made a TikTok about it. It kind of flopped, you know. TikTok, I'm in a flop era right now. It's fine, you know. We're gonna go up again. But I was thinking about it, and I complain about it all the time when I do my reviews, and I see that the author is publishing the sequel the same year. It was just the case with Divine Rivals, where Rebecca Ross, she's the author, Mrs. Ross, she is publishing the sequel, Ruthless Vows, in December. And the first book came out in March or April, or like in the beginning of the year. It's the same year, okay? And the same thing with Fourth Wing. Rebecca Yaros, the Rebeccas, they're added. Rebecca is publishing the second book in November, which is soon. And I'm really mad about it. I have nothing else to be mad about, so I was like, let's pick a struggle today, something to be mad about, and I picked that. But then this whole drama on Booktok unraveled and happened for the past week maybe, and I was following it closely because I was like, I mentioned this in my podcast, blah blah, and I was thinking about mentioning it and talking about it a little bit, and then talking about the other topic too, about the 2 books in 1 year and the publishing industry in general, and discussing that. But then so much happened with this situation that I was like, I can't do it. I don't know how long this is going to be. I think it's going to be long enough. I talk a lot. Oh my god, guys. One of my, I don't know how you say it in English, one of my greats is, yeah, girl. One of my grades this semester is just going to be a presentation. You're going to like, okay, that's like, I don't have an issue with presentations at all. I do get nervous, but, once I'm talking, I'm talking. The only issue with this presentation is that it's 40 minutes. Me alone, 40 minutes in front of a class. And I will have to present my topic is cybersecurity in the age of AI. Which is, of course, a topic that I'm very passionate about. I care a lot about. As if I fucking know anything about that. And it was the only good one left. And so I picked that. And I will have to present it to a class of, like, second semesters. And then our dude, the professor, goes, oh, and you're going to present these? We're like 7 people in this class. You're going to present it to the people in the second semester, and then they will have to write their final about your presentations. The topics of your presentations are going to be the topics of their final. This man doesn't want to do his fucking job? Or what? He's making us do his fucking job? 40 minutes. Me alone. And I was talking to this to my boyfriend. That's the right way to say it. And you can tell, when I haven't done a video in a few days, I don't speak English in my daily life. And it's like, okay, wait, how do I speak this language again? And I told him about it because last semester, this was also how they did their grade. Just that they didn't present to another semester. They just did it in their group. And it was 3 to 4 people doing the 40 minutes of presentation. And now we're doing it to a semester alone, 40 minutes. And I told him about it. I said, I don't think I'm doing good. I don't know how to do it. I have to basically teach for 40. I've never fucking done that. Do I want to become a fucking teacher? I'm not insane. I don't want to do that. Peace and love to the teachers. I wish I had your bravery. But he looks at me and he goes, Sophie, peace and love. He didn't say that. As if you struggle talking for 40 minutes. And I was like, what do you mean? He said, well, you think 40 minutes is going to be enough for you? No! Bitch! I felt very disrespected by that comment. 40 minutes are enough. They're too much, especially if you're teaching a subject that you don't fucking care about, bitch. Doing a book review is something else. I can talk about books. I can't talk about cybersecurity in the age of AI. I don't know what that means. But speaking about languages... Why did I speak... Oh, English. Because I can't speak English anymore. Guys, I'm doing something really out of my comfort zone. And I want everyone to know about it and hype me up. I don't even want to say it. I'm doing a Japanese course this semester. Japanese for beginners? I've never spoken Japanese in my life. I don't know anything about Japanese. That's not true. I do watch anime. But I feel like everyone that goes to Japanese classes is a weeb. I'm sorry, I watch animes myself. I have to, how do you say, reinforce that stereotype, because it's true. It's fucking true. And then I told my boyfriend about it, because when I was younger, in high school, I was thinking about, oh my god, maybe I want to learn Japanese, just learn a different language that's not with our alphabet, that I know English, German, and French. Maybe do something else, make completely different language, and Japanese seemed the most appealing. But it's the same with Korean. I feel like everyone who learns Korean is like, what is a weep in Korean? A peace and love to the Koreans, you know, love BTS. Korea boo. Peace and love. I'm saying it with peace and love. I'm doing the fucking Japanese course, not you. And I signed up for it. I sent the email today. I was like, hey, if there's any free spots, I would like to join the beginner's Japanese class. And it's every fucking Wednesday for 1.5 hours. I don't know any Japanese. I'm gonna learn. It's a whole fucking semester with random people. You know, that's the worst part. I'm not doing it with like a friend or anything. I'm just doing it by myself. And it's like, okay, it's good to meet new people and shit. It's like, I'm not into that. I'm such an introvert, and I like keeping to my people. I like that when I found people, you know, I don't let them go because I'm scared. And I'm really scared of the Japanese course, but I told my boyfriend about it. He said, you should do it. It's only 30 euros a semester, which I think is really cheap for a course that's going to be really fucking long. Like, it's over a few months. It's only 30 euros. I feel like that's really cheap. And my friends also said, you should do it. But they don't go to my university, so I can't do it with them. So if I start doing book reviews in Japanese, just know. Just you know. You know. Alright, so let's talk about the main topic of today's podcast episode, which is men on Booktok. Get comfy for this one. We're probably gonna get your blood boiling. And some of the things that I mentioned, I'm comfy. I have this in red too, if you're a super fan. If you have seen some of my videos, I have a red version of this, and they are the best. It's like these big, I don't know what they're called in English. I call it a kuschel poncho. I don't know what it's called in English. It's like an oversized hoodie, and I love it. I love it so much. It's the best thing ever. It's so cozy. But I was so cold, and whenever I do start filming, I get so hot. Hot and heated. And especially now with this topic. So, our main topic of today, as I said, is men on Booktok. This is about one specific man on Booktok, and his name is... Listen, the reason I'm talking about it is because it's so mind-boggling, and it's... I don't know how many people know about it. I don't know how big it is, and I just want to tell people about it, because I don't have anyone in my real life that cares about this, right? I don't have anyone in real life that cares about the books that I read, that cares about the Booktok drama that I follow, and so it's nice just getting your thoughts out, you know, with the community. And so you have to let me know if you've heard about this, if you knew about this, anything, like your whole... Also what you think about this, of course. We're talking about the one and only Nathan Lemke. And before we talk about him, I just want to mention, did you know that it was Stuff Your Kindle Day the other day? And it was like 3 days long, and I was so excited for it because, sorry, I forgot I wanted to talk about Stuff Your Kindle Day. I was so excited for it because the last Stuff Your Kindle Day, I saw people talking about, oh my god, this series is for free, and these books are for free, and it was really popular Booktok books, which of course is amazing if you're a book reviewer and you don't want to spend the fucking money on the books. Peace and love, you know. I will spend the YouTube money on the books that I buy in the future, but for that I have to get it, you know. And so I had to invest in the softbox first that isn't here yet, but I'm so excited for it. I hope it's working out the way I think, and you can see me better, and then you'll be able to see all of my pores even better with the new camera, with the new lighting. It's gonna be so slay. And Stuff Your Kindle Day, it was again for 3 days in September, like I don't know, it was like 2 or 3 days ago. So excited for it, because I just now got a Kindle like recently. And tell me why it was such a fucking flop. Peace and love. War and hate, actually. I feel like all of the Booktok books... No, there were none. But there were no Booktok books. For some reason, it was only like... I don't even know how to describe it. It was just books, you know? It was just like authors that publish on Kindle Unlimited that are now offering it for free for people who don't have Kindle Unlimited. That was kind of the vibe I was getting. You have to let me know for you how you thought the Stuff Your Kindle Day was, because it was also available on other platforms. You could also get Apple Books and on Android, and you can get a Kindle app and get Kindle Unlimited. Or no, yeah, you can get Kindle Unlimited on an app, but also, I didn't even know about that, okay? I thought you had to have a Kindle, but anyway, it was such a flop for me. I think I didn't get a single book, because there was just nothing that is like Booktok popular that would make sense for me to read and review on this channel, because no one fucking knows these books. And then no one's gonna fucking watch my videos! Okay? I gotta read the popular shit! You're forcing me to. But now let's talk about Booktok. Yeah, I just had to get it out because I was so disappointed. I was so excited for it. I was so excited to get all this, like, Shatter Me by Tara Mafi that I read when I was 14 and I wanted to reread for the channel. Where was it? I thought it was available last time. I was like, okay, I'm gonna get it this time. So, let me talk about Nate Lemke. Nate Lemke, the Booktok man of the year, basically. There has been a lot of drama with men on Booktok before of them being ignorant in a space that's predominantly how do you say predominantly dominated? I don't think you do. That's dominated by women. Of course, there's also normal men on Booktok that enjoy reading and do reviews, but for the most part, the community is female or women. I don't, whatever. So, but I would say that Booktok in itself is a very inclusive space. So from what I see, I'm not that actively on it. So when I got this drama pushed into my face, I was even more surprised because I'm not on usual Booktok. Occasionally I get a book video, but not that often. And I completely followed this drama. I mean, I was also invested in it at some point. So this drama started on the 11th of September of this year. So just like 2 weeks ago, okay? And everything that I say about this man that we're going to be talking, that's like the main star of the story, is with war and hate. And it's alleged. But it's with war and hate because as I was thinking about how to approach this topic, if I just wanted to tell you guys what happened, just make a list of events and you can like be the judge on your own, but I feel like that's kind of boring. Like, that's not what I'm here for. I'm here to be angry. We're in the book hater club. And I always say we're not the people hater club. In this case, we might make an exception. Peace, war and hate. War and hate, actually. I cannot say peace and love with this man because he's so infuriating. And sadly, that is his goal and he got me. He got me. But it's not like I go to bed thinking about him angry. It's just like whenever I see his face on my For You page, I just get so irritated. I get so frustrated. So, if you don't know what happened, I will tell you. It's about the dude. His name is Nate. He is an author. Self-proclaimed author. And I have to give another disclaimer. I was following the story, right, for the podcast, and I wanted to make a very detailed list of everything that happened, but it's so much. I'm sure that some other booktuber, maybe like Rachel Reads with Rachel is her name. She always talks about authors behaving badly, so I could imagine that she makes a video. Maybe she won't, because she doesn't want to give him the platform, but that's also why I'm not putting him in the title or anything. And she made TikToks about him. I saw it on TikTok that she was discussing him, so she's probably going to make a better video. Watch hers also. If you're like, what the fuck is this girl talking about? She's probably doing it better. So, Nate published a book, and it's called Manic Pixie E-Girl. Just for start information. And he doesn't blink in his videos. In his most recent video that he posted, he does do a little blink, one. But in all his other videos, he doesn't. He's just staring at you. He has very icy blue eyes, and a mustache. And it's not very flattering. And I do want him to push back those little locks of his to see his hairline. It's not looking good for him. He is 33. And his birthday is on the 31st of July, so that makes him a Leo. And that also kind of explains this whole situation. This man is absolutely... Let me pull up the list that I downloaded. Wait a second. Because I was like, okay, I gotta find out when this man's birthday is. As always, it wasn't that hard to find out. Because family members post a lot online. Anyway, Leo traits, negative traits. Vain, egotistical, childish, overbearing, stubborn, status-seeking, possessive, autocratic, pretentious, arrogant, cocky, dominating. Period. I don't know. I've never had any experience with Leo men. Only Capricorn men. Which is also a little bit difficult. Peace and love to my boyfriend, but... he is a Leo, and he is a Leo through and through. It's like, whenever you find someone... and they exactly match their star sign and the traits that are associated with it, you're like, huh, maybe there's something to it. I know it's way more, like, intricate than that, but just so you know, it's like, my boyfriend is a Capricorn, he's very ambitious. Huh, that makes sense. I'm a Capricorn, me not so much. Yeah, we just talked about being lazy. We just talked about failing math. So there's gotta be more to that. Anyway, I thought that he lived with his parents. He does not. He is from Arizona. Whatever there are stereotypes about Arizona, I don't really know. I just know that they do a little yeehaw, maybe. A little bit of cowboy vibes. I'm not sure. Arizona, isn't that the state that's very hot? And very deserty and like cactuses and shit? Peace and love to all my Arizonians. What are you doing? That's just a place that I would not want to live in. Peace and love, if that is true. Maybe I'm confusing it with a different state, but just like hot climate. And I mean, I'm experiencing it now with in Europe. It's super hot at the moment. I fucking hate that. Where's the fucking fall? I can't do it anymore. I sweat a lot. And so Arizona would not be the place for me. So I thought he lived with his parents from the information that I found out. But he is engaged. And that makes this whole story, and I found this out like 10 minutes ago, which is not true because I've been filming for like 30, but I did find this out right before I started filming, because there's a booktalker that I can or TikToker, I'm not sure if she's a booktalker necessarily, that I can recommend to you, and her name on TikTok is Divergent Redhead. That was really hard for me to read. I was like, Divergent Threaded? No, Divergent Redhead. And she made a lot of interesting videos about the situation, about Nate, and all of the content all of the information that's come out about him. And so a lot of information that I have, like him having a fiance, I have from her, because apparently he did like a video on Instagram or a live stream, and she was able to find that, and in that he was like, yeah, my fiance. And I was like, okay, that you're not giving fiance, you're giving incel. And a lot of people did call him an incel and a misogynist, but if you fuck, maybe, peace and love, maybe he's in a relationship but he doesn't fuck. Maybe he's bitter. But what's interesting about this, and thus far we're not talking about the book, we're just talking about kind of how all of this started, because in the beginning you didn't even know he was promoting a book. But he has a fiance, and he was talking in this video that I think her name is Hazel. Well, her handle is not Hazel, so is she Hazel or not? I'm not sure. Mrs. Not Hazel, she recorded this video, and he talks about how 2 or 3 years ago he was in a party phase, which means when he was 30, he was in a party phase and he was doing all kinds of drugs. And then he met a woman that later became his fiance. So they are engaged. Maybe he still lives with his parents and his fiance in one house. That could be, And he talks about the fact that he was really depressed because he was also addicted to porn. I can't say porn. We're not on fucking TikTok. He was addicted to porn. And he was doing drugs. And he couldn't find a job. And he has worked I'm so sorry. In the service industry his whole life, is what he says, and he's never struggled to get a job. And this is what he says. He never struggled to get a job. He has a very good resume. He's very charismatic, is what he says about himself. And so he was very depressed at this point in his life, because he handed out 14 applications and no one got back to him immediately. No one called him back. And he could not believe it, because he is very charismatic. So he's never struggled to get a job, but he just couldn't find a job. And he's always worked in the service industry, which lines up with the information that I found, which is that he is a certified beer server. So he works in a bar. How the fuck can you be a certified beer server? What the fuck does that even mean? What kind of certificate is that? Can I post it on my LinkedIn? What is that? What does that mean? I'm not sure. I think that's so odd. When he says he's been working in the service industry his whole life, I get kind of sad, because I think if you work in something like the service industry or retail your entire life, you just get so bitter. You become such a bitter person, because all of the jobs that I've ever done, no, that's not true. I did one corporate job. I was forced. But all of the other side jobs that I've had in my life, besides YouTube and the corporate job, were always in retail. I've talked about it. I was a cashier, and I just started my new job, which is shelving. So much more chill, guys. I fucking love shelving! I'm just shelving my shit the whole fucking morning. I just put it in and then I leave and I don't have to deal with any fucking body. I don't have to talk to any fucking customer. Whatever. Service industry makes you bitter, I think, if you work in it your entire life, and if you are 30. And I don't know how good of a resume can... I don't want to be that mean, but like, how good of a what resume are we speaking? He has a very good resume for a server? You've served a lot of people, or what does that essentially mean? Or what did you do your entire life? I'm not sure what it means, but he was broke at this point. He couldn't find a job, was partying, got engaged with his fiance, and she had a job, allegedly, and was allegedly financing his endeavor with the fucking writing of his book. He dropped everything. He couldn't find a job. He decided to just sit down and write his book. He was gonna become an author. Peace and love, war and hate. He was gonna become a fucking author. He was convinced of this. His fiance got the opportunity to go to Colorado and live in a hut. Different day, same old drama. We're still talking about it. I went to the cinema last night and I saw a movie called Over the Sky. It was an anime movie. I'm not sure if there's like a term for anime movies, if there's like an official name for them, but it was a fever dream. That's all I can say. I would not recommend it. I in disbelief on what I was watching. So let's get back to Nate and his issues. I think the last thing we talked about was his fiance getting the offer to live in a hut somewhere in what did he say? It was like North Carolina. No, I don't know. I don't remember, but it was a hut somewhere remote. And Nate's first response to that was not, oh my god, that's such a great opportunity for her, I'm gonna support her through this. It was, oh my god, this is such a good thing for me, I'm gonna move with her into this hut, this remote hut, because I really need it. I really need to get away from everything and just, I don't know what he thought, but he made it about himself, which we love when men do that. And he also mentions in this video, again, the oh my god, I wanted to say the deranged redhead. I don't think that's her name. Divergent redhead. Deranged. Sorry, I didn't mean that. She posted all of this on her TikTok, because I don't know where she found this video. It's on his Instagram, allegedly somewhere. I don't know where, but he says in this video, and I thought that was really funny, that he used to meditate. He used to meditate, and then you're like, okay, that's a good thing. Meditation, sure, you're self-aware, you're doing something for your own good and for your health. And he follows that up by saying he used to meditate by laying in bed and thinking. That's what meditation is for him, what he used to do. So that being said, I don't really think he did meditation. I think he was just in bed thinking. That's not really what that is. Peace and love, of course. He also went on a podcast called the Gold Pill Podcast. No idea what this is. It's two random women doing this podcast, and they're also on Spotify. And I didn't listen to it. Peace and love. I'm not going to listen to it. Their cover art, at least they have cover art, because I don't have any. It's just a gold pill photoshopped onto a black background and gold pill written next to it, and it's something very much like, we are not for the red pill or the blue pill, we are for the gold pill, we're something else. And they talk about spirituality. It's just it's something, and I'm not interested in it, but he did go on a podcast and just to promote his book, okay, and allegedly these women did read it, and he does make a statement that I think is really interesting, and then I'm just going to tell you right now. I just realized the door is open. I hope the audio is not echoey, but alas, not my problem. So he did say in this podcast, this is a quote, that they were talking about something, they were discussing something, maybe how he started writing this book or whatever, but he makes a statement of, I'm a little autistic with numbers, which is very interesting way to put it. Instead of just saying I'm bad with numbers. I'm not really sure why he used autism in this context. Could never be me. Peace and love. And as I said, I have to go over my notes here to kind of rearrange my thoughts. He is, according to my research, a certified beer server. So that's something, I guess. And this whole thing started on the 11th of September when he posted his first video. His account is still up. It's Nate Lemke Reads, and Americans keep pronouncing it Lemke, but I'm sure he does that himself too. But if you were German, you would say Lemke, which is why I'm doing it, and I'm not going to change it. Peace and love. You know, we're going to stick true to the roots. I'm not changing myself for you. I'm going to pronounce it how I want. Okay, I gotta have an accent, or else I forget where my roots are from. So, he posts a video, and he says in this that he is trying to read a book by a woman author every single day because he has noticed a personal blind spot, is what he called it, that he is naturally drawn to authors of his own gender. And apparently women also write books. Oh my god, I can't believe it. If we look at the back of my video, I'm pretty sure that there's only 2 male authors there. But anyway, you know, women writing, they have rights? So he wants to read more women authors, and he's trying to portray it as a very genuine thing, where he's saying, I just noticed I wasn't reading them, and I want to come on here and document my process as I'm reading a book a day by a woman. And that being said, he didn't really read any books that I've read, which means not any mainstream Booktok books. He was reading like, who did he read? He was reading very like traditional books, like very classical books, you know. And then he was like, leave him recommendations in the comments, and people would recommend to him like Sarah J Maas, and it's like, I don't think that's really what he's going for. Anyway, I did get that video on my For You page at the time of him saying he wants to read more women authors, that day one, and the book he read was Bunny, called Bunny. I don't know the author, I don't know this book. I don't know if anyone here has read it. I don't care about the book. Not if you've read it, you can tell me, but I don't care about the book. And he would make summaries of the books, explaining what they were about and how he liked it. And I just didn't really care. And when it came up on my For You page, I watched the first few seconds where he was like, I want to read a woman author. And then I just skipped, because I was like, I do not care, and you're scary. Because I don't think I've put up a picture of him yet. I will put up a picture of him in the end. But if you haven't heard about the situation, you can kind of just picture in your head like a man as I tell the story. And at the end, I'm going to do a face reveal. How about that? That's exciting, right? And I'll tell you, so you can look up at the screen in case you're just having this run in the background, which is, you know, love that for me and you, for us together. Book haters forever. Now, we do not know at this point that this man has published a book himself. It is a self-published book, and it's called Manic Pixie E-Girl. I've mentioned that before. And I'll read out the summary on Goodreads to you soon. Don't worry. I'm just going to talk about, because at this point, if you followed this drama or if you followed him, you didn't know. You didn't know until you, or if you looked specifically, you would have known, but you just looking at him and watching those videos, you wouldn't have known. So he does day 1 and day 2 of the reading a women author's book a day. And on day 2, it's really interesting because he says in the intro video, not, I'm trying to correct the blind spot, or I'm trying to read more women authors. He does say, I want to read more women authors. But he also says, I'm going to read more women authors until my book gets onto the New York Times bestseller list. And he then goes and deletes the video, edits that part out of him saying he wants to get onto the New York Times bestseller list, and re-uploads it on TikTok. And just that part is missing. But people noticed it, and they were like, what? Didn't you say just yesterday you were reading them because you wanted to correct your personal blind spot? Did you notice that you weren't reading women? What the fuck? You have a book? What the fuck is going on? People are really confused about this, especially because he then went ahead, edited it out, uploaded it again, didn't mention it. He did say it on day 3 that he wants to read more books by women to get his own book on the New York Times bestseller list, and then he left it at that. He said it after that, from day 3 start onward, you know. But day 2, he for some reason deleted and re-uploaded, and people were really confused by this. His book is self-published. No publisher, peace and love, would ever pick it up and will never pick it up. Now, after all of this drama has happened, I think no company wants what he has attached to his name now, because he uses his real legal name. You know? It's not like he's using an author name where he could do like a little switcheroo. No. He did his full legal name, and that's honestly an issue for him now, because if people Google you, that track record of you acting like this will come up. You know, digital footprint is real, especially if you behave like a fucking asshole like this. Honestly, I can't believe it. And I'm in disbelief still about this whole situation. Anyway, he talks about wanting to get his book on the bestseller list, New York Times bestseller list. For me, I don't know much about New York Times bestseller list. For me, the Booktok books that I read, for some reason, every author, and maybe there's some author I've read that isn't on the New York Times bestseller list. It's not something I look at. But even the poopiest author, piece of love, you know, the books I read, you know what I read, get on the New York Times bestseller list. But I found out through all of this TikTok drama that getting your self-published book on the New York Times bestseller list is basically impossible because of just how it works. You have to be published traditionally by a company, or no, by a publisher. Well, it's a company, but you know what I mean, to make it on the New York Times bestseller list. Because usually, or oftentimes, I've heard they buy the books in bulk. And then when you have a lot of sales, you get onto the New York Times bestseller list, and then nothing happens with those books, and they get burned or shredded. Allegedly, I've heard that people do that just to get on the New York Times bestseller list, but it's practically impossible, as good as impossible, to do it when you're self-published. And also, of course, it raises the question: how is reading books by women, written by women, gonna get your book on the New York Times bestseller list? How does one and the other correlate? What's the correlation? We don't really know what his plan was here. And we're also not really sure why he thought that Booktok, a space, as we mentioned before, predominantly dominated. I still don't know how to say it. I should have looked it up. Dominated by women and just very progressive people. Why did he think that his Manic Pixie E-Girl book is the right choice for those people? Like, they are the right demographic for his book. We're not really certain. I think he's a little silly. Okay, so on day 5, he puts Breakfast at Tiffany's in the back of his videos instead of Catcher in the Rye, which had been in the back before. Maybe he thought that women liked Breakfast at Tiffany's better because they're women. I'm not really sure. I haven't read either. And also, it's really interesting that it appears that he's sitting on a toilet while he's making these videos, and we're not really sure. By we, I say Booktok. I've seen a few people mention it, and I also thought it myself, but I don't comment on shit, so I didn't like comment, oh my god, is he sitting on a toilet? But then I saw someone else say it, and I was like, okay, so I'm not the only one that's thinking this. It's very much giving, because you can see it by his arm. It looks kind of like a toilet, and then in the back is his bookshelf where he's propping up these books, and it's very much giving, how do you say, like, makeshift bookshelf, buying a bunch of books from the bookstore and putting them in the back like that one person, like the other one. I don't know who it was. I think it was an actor. No, it was an actress or a singer or someone who said, go buy me a bunch of books from the bookstore because this bookshelf is empty and they're doing a house tour. I need books in this bookshelf. That's what it was giving. And he also had Colleen Hoover in the back. So I just know he did not read It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover. I just know he doesn't read that shit. No one should, you know, but I know he isn't. So on day 7 or day 8 of his TikTok journey, all hell breaks loose, or not really. It's been breaking loose because of the whole reading women authors and then trying to get into the New York Times bestseller list. And he finally addresses it, and he posts a silly little video being like, I'm so sad, and he still continues. That's why I don't know if it's on day 7 or 8. He posts one more review between review day 7 and review day 8, and then he stops. So it all happened within like a week, basically. He was exposed within a week. People were like, okay, we're not really getting it. So he makes a video and he's really upset, and he's saying, I don't understand what's going on. People are looking up my book on Goodreads and they're tracking down my book on Goodreads, is what he says, even though he's portraying it in the back of his videos, in his reviews. Like, he starts doing that at some point, right, the cover right in the back. And he's like, they're tracking it down on Goodreads and they're giving it bad reviews without even reading it. All I wanted to do was correct my blind spot of not reading women authors. And he, I may have to look, he says, I don't really know what to do. I don't know what I did wrong. What can you guys tell me what I did wrong and how I was being disrespectful? And he says that the real mean girls are actually on Booktok. That's what he says. And so it's kind of become a meme, I think, of people calling themselves mean girls on Booktok. But I think it's warranted with him. He has such a weird, like, the audacity of him, okay? Trying to exploit women authors to get his own shitty ass book on the bestseller list. That's not gonna happen, King. He's not a king. Sorry. I take that back. Oh, he says they even went so far as to say that I was exploiting women authors. And then he says, because that certainly wasn't my intention when I started this project. Even though you did say you want to read a book a day by a woman because you want to get your book on a New York Times bestseller list. Just read a book a day. What the fuck do women have to do with that? You know what I mean? I'm just watching his video right now so I can give you the accurate response, because it is still up on his channel. He says, yes, I wanted to promote my book, but I thought this was a good place to start. And what do you think? Was I exploiting women authors? And if so, what can I do to fix it? He's asking the audience directly to give him a response. The thing is, he gets a lot of views on his videos. He gets very few likes and a lot of comments. And so people were... I don't really think that they were being mean, necessarily. They were just telling him, what you're doing is mean. They were calling him mean. They were saying, what you're doing isn't right. And they were giving him constructive criticism, telling him how to be better and what the issue was. And he still went ahead and said, I don't know what I did wrong, guys. He wasn't listening. He didn't care. And he still doesn't care. That's like the main thing of all of this. So then he makes the day 8 Tender is the Flesh review, and he then proceeds to post another video saying Booktok drama update, where he's filming like from down here like this and looking down, and it's really creepy. I fucking hate this man. Like, peace and love, he is also so creepy looking. People with mustaches, they creep me out in general. So that's just a personal preference, of course. It's not for me. And he's saying they're trying to... What is it saying, the title? They're trying to cancel my book. Rightfully so. I woke up in this morning and my last book review had been flagged. And my freaking rating on Goodreads has just been plummeting, is what he says. He pulls it up. He says, I can tell that people who are rating my book are not actually reading it and properly reviewing it. They're just rating it 1 star because they don't like what I'm doing on Booktok. And so this is a very common mistake that people do, where they're like looking at the reviews on Goodreads for their book, which is not... I mean, I get that you're curious, right? But we've talked about it before. The review space is not for the authors. This is a reviewer space where... And if you are not on Booktok, you wouldn't have heard about this drama, and then you maybe saw this book and you were like, okay, I'm gonna read it, and then you wouldn't have known that this dude that wrote the book is actually a shitty fucking person. And so it's a way, of course, to also warn people that don't have every form of media and are able to follow everything as closely as some chronically online people are, like me. So I absolutely think that it was valid that his book was getting 1-star reviews. Goodreads actually had to step in and stop reviews. You weren't able... I don't know if you're able to do it now, but for a while you weren't able to rate his book anything because Goodreads disabled it. And that being said, it doesn't even have that many reviews. It has like 40 or 50 reviews. It's not like it's in the thousands or anything. So that's why I think that this drama maybe wasn't as big as it seems to some people, because it's a very like close space that heard about it. But that being said, about the 1-star reviews is, of course, I've said this before, don't rate a book 1 star before you've read it. But this man really fucked up, and so I think it's valid. When it happened to Alex Astor, the author of Lightlark, I didn't agree with that. People were just being mean to her, you know. The book was ass. I gave it 1 star, but I did read it at the end of the day. But what was happening to her, I didn't think was right. With this man, however, not because he's a man, you know, he's just a shitty person. If a woman did this behavior, which I don't think that would ever happen, but if a woman did, I would also say, okay, give it 1 star and warn other people who don't know about this that the author is a shitty person. Not that they maybe promoted their book with a quote that isn't actually in the book, which was the case with Alex Astor, but that he's genuinely fucked up in the head. according to me, in my opinion, allegedly, in Minecraft. That being said, with the 1-star reviews, it was quite interesting because some people decided to then look at the couple of 5-star reviews that were out, because for some reason there were only 5-star reviews of the book. And those, except for like maybe, okay, I don't remember the ratio because obviously now it's also distorted, but let's say there were 10 reviews. Out of those 10 reviews, only 2 accounts had reviewed multiple books. The other 8 had only reviewed his book and gave him the 5 stars. So that made people say, okay, King, you're complaining about the 1-star reviews? The 5-star reviews aren't even real. The 5-star reviews didn't even fucking read it. They're bots, or they're accounts that he made to rate his book and write like, one review was like, Nate Lemke is the new messiah? What? How the fuck? What the I can't even speak. What does one thing have to do with the other? You know, people are so deranged, and people said he is the one that made the accounts, allegedly. They think that he made the accounts on Goodreads, it's multiple reads, to review his own silly little book that he wrote. And honestly, I believe it. It's alleged, of course, but I believe it, that that's what happened. Because, again, they had only reviewed 1 book, and it was his. They had been recently made review 1 book, it was his. You know? So that happened, and then what was the next thing that happened in this saga? Maybe at this point, since we're already on Goodreads, it's a good idea to read out the description of the book to you, now that I've been teasing it the whole fucking time. So let's see what it's rather long. I'm going to show you how much I have to read out. This is the whole description, which of course he also wrote because he's self-published. No one's writing a blurb for him, so you can maybe get an idea of his writing from this, but I will tell you a few quotes of his writing because I'm bashing it, and you're going to say, Sophie, maybe that's, you know, unwarranted. No, it's not. Manic Pixie Ego follows the downward spiral / dark night of the soul of Alden Goodnight as he becomes hopelessly obsessed with Abby Cadabra. Abacadabra? Abracadabra? Abacadabra. The cam girl turned cult leader who lives in the apartment above him. Neurotic loner and self-diagnosed girl addict Alden Goodnight has sworn off women altogether, but when a provocative young content creator moves into the apartment above him, his resolve to stay celibate is put to the test. Claiming to be the new messiah of the 21st century, the audacious and irresistible Abacadabra. Abacadabra. See, if I read that, I wouldn't read the book. Abacadabra. It's honestly a bold move. Is anything but your typical girl next door. Enigmatic, ambitious, and a bit naive, she is determined to become the biggest star the internet has ever seen. Alden soon becomes captivated by her irreverent charm. It's a lot of big words because he thinks he's a really smart guy. And he's very charismatic, of course, as he stated himself. He's never struggled to get a job, but he couldn't get one for 2 years. So, anyway, what did I say? The unlikely pair set out to create a salacious social media empire, even if it means starting a viral internet cult in the process. But as their controversial content catapults them to unprecedented levels of fame, Alden's secret, unrequited love for his co-star reaches a breaking point, culminating in a wildly shocking and depraved ending that will not be soon forgotten. Prescient, timely, and utterly captivating, he says about his own book. Manic Pixie E-Girl explores trauma, addiction, and the yearning for a connection in the digital age. So, I don't know what the fuck I just read out to you. Why the fuck does he feel the need to, first of all, make it this fucking long, and then use, like, all of the big words? And you know what it's giving? It's giving, I'm thinking of a word, and I don't know a big word, so I'm gonna type in this one page on the internet where you can find synonyms. I'm gonna type in the normal word, and then look for a synonym, and just cinnamon. I would kill for a cinnamon roll right now. Honestly, it's not getting cold, even though I'm wearing a hoodie. It's really glittery. I really like it. How do you like it? I think it's giving a little bit of Christmas, but Oh my god. The dogs are out to get me. Yeah, I don't really know what the book is about, especially because it becomes like, it's not as easy as there's a dude that falls in love with a cam girl and it's like social commentary or something. We'll talk about that in a second, if it's satire or not. It's also about like different dimensions. And I think the end, I heard someone say this, so I haven't read the book, and I will not read the book, and I advise no one to read this book. I think it's something like, it was all a dream. Cheers to that. This dude is very much chronically online. He was arguing with everyone and everybody's mom in the TikTok comments, and under videos there were stitches of him and everything, to a point where we can probably confidently say that what he was doing, especially towards the end, was rage farming, which is just him profiting off of the fact that people were so mad at him and so frustrated with him that he was saying things like, what can I do to be better and to make it better? And then turning around and doing the exact opposite and being disrespectful and mean to women. And he absolutely wanted the attention, and I think it, even though that wasn't his plan in the beginning, when he saw that he was getting attention, even though it was negative attention, he wanted to keep that going, and he was hoping that that would motivate people to rage or hate read his book and get fame from that. So I'm making this to tell you about it, but I'm also telling you, don't read the book. I won't read it. If you read it, maybe read it somewhere where you... No, I'm not going to say it, but you know where I was going to say it, I hope. So he did post a little picture on his Instagram, which is a meme page. In case I didn't mention that yet, I don't think I did. He has a meme page. He also has a private Instagram, but it's private. And his meme page is called Dark Night of the Soul. And he posts very odd memes that are not funny. And he will go on to say that people just don't get it. People just don't get meme culture and his memes, but they are just not funny, and they are very much giving virgin, even though he is engaged, allegedly. And it's giving incel, it's giving you don't respect women, and we stand by the fact that he doesn't respect women, especially because of some things I will talk about later. But he posts memes with like half-naked women in the back, and it's just half-naked women on a beach, and it says, it's like, I'm like, what? I can't even fucking read that. Peace and love. This is terribly edited. I'm like, if a girl was that glimmering spot where the moon touches the sea. I don't even know what the fuck that's supposed to fucking mean, I think the issue with this man is that he thinks he's really clever, and he believes, what is the word for it? Is the hubris? He believes that he is way better and way smarter than everyone else, and just nobody gets it. And the people that get it, and just very smart people get it, and the people on Booktok are just not very smart. Oh my god, he does have reels. Is this where she got the video from? What's her name? Deranged redhead? Sorry. Divergent redhead? That wasn't intentional! I said it wrong again. Why am I on the deranged course right now? Maybe because this man is deranged. Oh my god, someone commented, we don't think you're crazy for believing this book was given to you by a higher power. We're putting God into this? What did he do? Someone, shut the fuck, I liked it. No, I disliked it again. Someone said, flopping that little tuft of hair onto your forehead doesn't hide that your hairline is running away from you as quickly as the best-selling author title. I love comments. But it's a live stream that he did 12 weeks ago, the making of Manic Pixie E-Girl. I didn't know that this was where it was from. The video that not Hazel, the virgin redhead, made. So that's good to know, but I'm not gonna watch it. But alas, I wanted to give you some quotes of the book to give you a better understanding of what the quality of writing is, and what this great book about, what did he say, trauma, addiction, and the yearning for connection in the digital age is really written like. So there's a post on his Instagram story where he's holding the book open like this, and it says, it turned out so good, and I think this was the first time he had a physical copy, and it's on page 74/75. So this being open, I imagine if you are like promoting your book, or you just get it, you're opening a page that you're really proud of. right? If you're gonna post it to your Instagram story like this, it's intentional, the page. It's not like the first page. It's like intentional, okay? That's just the point that I'm trying to make. So we're gonna read chapter 24, Tarot. Tarot? How the fuck you say it in English? Tarot is German. Tarot, maybe, I don't know. And it's chapter 24, so I'm just gonna read out this page up to the point that I can read it. Okay, are you ready? Can I read your tarot? She says, walking out of the bedroom and toweling her face dry. Yeah, sure, I say. I don't actually give a shit about my tarot reading, but part of me doesn't want to leave just yet. There's something about being in a girl's room. It's soft, comforting, messy, aesthetically pleasing. There are trinkets everywhere. When you're in a girl's bedroom, it's like nothing else matters. Like you're back in the womb. She grabs something from her drawer and sits down across from me. It is a tarot deck wrapped in the torn out pages of an old Playboy. Because of course it is. How does it work? I ask. Well, it's kind of like a regular deck of cards. There are 4 suits, she explains tarots. I'm not gonna read it out. They're the cool ones. Given the fact that I had just come on her face a few minutes ago, she's being casual as hell. When you have unrestricted access to the internet from a young age, sex becomes a, and then his finger is above it, but the last word is transaction. Okay, that was amazing. Another quote from the book is, she is hot in a motherly sort of way. Okay. And another quote is, he picked up a rock, brown and smooth like a woman's breast. Brown and smooth like a woman's breast. Have you ever touched boobs before? I am concerned. I am confused, and I don't know how this man has a fiance, and I'm really sorry for her, and I feel really bad for her. So there was a person on TikTok that read the book, so if you're curious, you don't read it. If you're curious what it is about and what's happening in it, the person is called, I will tell you in a second. Oh my god, I can't find it. She is called Kelly Reads Chaos, and Chaos is with a K instead of CH, and she reviews the book on her account, or she reviewed it. She was reading it and posting updates as she was going along, reading out the best quotes, so more than what I just read out to you. And I think this man obviously mommy issues. The reason I found Kelly Reads Chaos in this whole situation is because Nate made a video where he, and I do not have this video. Do I? I don't think I do. It was a video that he posted and then deleted, which he did with a few videos. I think there was even one that I did sadly not catch, so I have no idea what he said in that, and I'm not sure what the video was, so I can't specifically look for it. But this video was where he was defending his book because he is chronically online, that's true, and he's watching all of these TikToks about himself, reading all the comments, defending himself in the comments, and kind of only responding to the ones that are like really supportive of him, and the ones that called him out and criticized him and gave him constructive criticism, he does not respond to. He ignores those. So it's a video where he tags 2 creators. The first one is Naomi, which I don't know who she is, but he says in the caption, and I can only see this far, at Naomi took this wildly out of context. At Kelly Reads Chaos actually read my book, and I think it was something like, and actually gave constructive criticism on it. So he specifically calls out 2 creators on his channel and then deletes the video, and I don't have it anymore, so I don't know what he said in it. I'm so sorry. Ugh, you know, I should have learned from my mistakes, but I do have 2 other videos that he deleted saved, so don't worry guys, I have the receipts. So at this point, I'm not sure what the book is actually about, because he kind of flip-flops around. He says it's satire, then he makes videos where he says, don't want men to be vulnerable because this book is about my own porn addiction and overcoming porn addiction. Super random. He drops this in a video. No one asked, you know, peace and love. And he flip-flops between those two. It's satire, it's supposed to be taken seriously, it's social commentary, it's his own experience, it's kind of like a twist on his own story where he was addicted to sex and everything. And at this point, I don't know what it's about. I don't know if it's supposed to be satire. I think that he might say that it's satire because he thinks Honestly, I don't know what he thinks. I don't know. I don't understand this man. I don't know what he's trying to tell us. I don't know what he's trying to tell us, guys. And just because it's satire doesn't mean that you can be disrespectful towards women. You know? And this man does not seem like he respects women very much, allegedly, in my opinion, of course. You know, I'm not saying he doesn't, but it just seems to me like he doesn't. I feel like he should just see the therapist. That would help a lot. He has a tattoo of the cover on his arm. He has a cover, again, he has a tattoo of the cover. What do I see? He has a cover of the tattoo. He has a tattoo of the cover. This is the cover. And the tattoo is the lips with an E tattooed on the tongue on his arm. That tells you a lot. I think all of this tells you a lot, of course. So, oh, by the way, he also said in the Instagram video, he said he wanted to make the world a better place with his writing, but I'm not really sure how the world is getting better by you saying that the stone feels like a woman's tit. So, he has been exposed for making comments on an IG post, and this is something I found out yesterday. I wasn't aware of this before, because there's a woman on his, again, he has like a meme page. He has a girl promote his book that looks like Belle Delphine, if you guys remember that girl, like the classic e-girl, short skirts, pink hair, gamer girl, and that sold her bath water. Do you remember her? That was insane. She looks like her, and he was exposed for making comments on her Instagram. And again, he's allegedly engaged. If I was engaged and my fiance commented this under a post of an OnlyFans creator, because this woman is an OnlyFans creator. Peace and love, you know, we are for, how do you say? We support sex workers, that's what I wanted to say. But I'm not sure how I would react if my fiance had commented this specifically. He says, "Sugar daddy here," in brackets, starving artist. "I thought you should know I wrote a book about a spicy content creator, and the main character may or may not be loosely based on you. Don't be mad." And she says back, "I just ordered it, and after reading the description, I can honestly say I've never been so nervous to read a book." And then he says back, "I promise it's unlike anything you've ever read." And she does read it. She even has gone so far as to say she has now read it twice. I don't think this woman reads a lot. Peace and love, you know, you should read different books. And she's really flattered, and she really likes it, and she made pictures promoting the book, holding it over her cooch. And he's also subscribed to her on OnlyFans. So that's that. I mean, what am I supposed to say? So let's go into the deleted videos and his responses, because this man never once has apologized for exploiting women authors, in my opinion, you know. He has posted a few updates. He also posted some on Instagram, where he posted a picture saying, Booktokers be like, "I'm not obsessed with Nate Lemke. My sister in Christ, you are currently stalking his meme page," which I did, of course, because I wanted to make this video, and I am not ashamed of it. And he says in the caption, "I don't know if you guys noticed, but I am currently being cancelled on TikTok, and a lot of delusional fangirls are coming here to harass me. Pray for me. I'm gonna need all the help I can get." And he has limited comments on his Instagram posts, and he also started posting, and by the way, this is just a picture of a fucking sandwich. You can call me stupid all you fucking want, you know, but why is there a picture of a fucking sandwich? That's just, you know, love memes. I love memes, but this is just not, it just doesn't make sense, these memes, you know, these are just not funny. And you have issues, and you should go see a therapist. And then he posted in his story on the same day a SoundCloud link. Freedom of Speech is the song. And then he also posted a screenshot of a message he got, where he was you know, apparently like texting someone on Instagram, and the dude responded, "No problem, man." And I know that this was a man writing him, because no woman would write "no problem, man." You know, "No problem, man. I saw the quality of some of the rebukes you were tracking on TikTok, and it's pretty clear to me, even before reading it, that some people just have no sense of humor or satire at all." So now it's satire again. It's not supposed to be taken seriously, but it is about male vulnerability and also your own sex addiction. Don't sweat it too much. Anyone who has got to use the internet, the internet time to drag someone else for any reason isn't a model of happiness or completeness to aspire to. Wannabe social gatekeepers who actively look for others. I can't fucking read this, guys. I'm not gonna read this out to you. I fucking hate men who think they're better than everyone. You are not better than everyone. You are miserable, and your life is really fucking sad. If this is your life, it's really fucking sad. I don't know your fiance, but you seem like a terrible man. And all of his videos, he doesn't blink. He always has this really like self-assured smirk on his face, and it's infuriating that people like this exist in the world, you know. I cannot understand it. So anyway, he posts these updates on his Insta. This is like 2 or 3 days after everything goes to shit on TikTok, where he posts a video. He says Booktok is not a safe place for authors. There's a new trend emerging on Booktok where they decided I was a misogynist and went out of their way to track down my book on Goodreads to leave horrible reviews without even reading it. If you were on Booktok for a while, you would know that this is normal. People do that, you know, which is not always right, but they do that. He posted that, and then he also posted a video that he deleted where he was like, Booktok that does not want you to read this book. And he puts this I don't know, I think it's copyright music that all of these conspiracy videos always have in the back. I bet you know what I mean. I'm not gonna play it out loud because I'm not sure if I'm allowed, you know, with the music and everything. But he says, I made a video, a promotional video for my book highlighting women authors, okay? And to my utter amazement, the predominantly female users of Booktok reacted to it with hate and vitriol, the likes of which I have never been before witnessed in my life. My comment section immediately filled with personal attacks, calling me names within hours, and he shows like that he got a bunch of stitches, and maybe that's because you were the issue. With some creators even going so far as to say I should stop highlighting women authors in my promotion altogether. When your ideology goes so far as to actually harm the people you claim oh my god, to claim to care about, blah blah blah, I don't care. He again goes on to say in this video, and the ones who did read it either could not or willfully chose not to emphasize with the main character, a young man struggling with mental illness, much like the movie Joker. My book centers around a troubled, disfranchised man who struggles with intrusive thoughts and addictive behaviors. And I think Booktok's reaction to my book speaks to a much larger problem with our society, that most women become very uncomfortable when faced with true masculine vulnerability. Because he is not the issue, and he has never been the issue, and the book he wrote is completely fine. The way he acted on Booktok is completely fine, and the way he called out people and the way he disrespected people is completely fine. He's just bad at everyone. We need to learn to be present with each other, even in the vulnerable moments, and that's it. That's the whole video. Okay, so he compares his fucking book to Joker. Okay, sure, you know, if that's the approach you want to take, I guess. Then he makes another video, and this is the setting the record straight. So as I said, that video is deleted that he posted, and there was another one that he posted that he did delete that I don't know what he talks about. He then goes to post yesterday, setting the record straight, and this is kind of the last relevant video. After this, I'm not gonna follow this man further or look at his post ever fucking again. And in this video, he has a really weird camera angle where he shows his full fucking crotch, like, okay, and he says, hey guys, this is all getting a little out of hand, so let's just talk. Okay, let's see. He says he has made 3 TikTok accounts in the past. This is the 4th one, because he tried to promote his book and nothing was working. And then he noticed if he spoke about gender, okay, that his videos would get more views. So he made the executive decision to just read women authors to promote his book, to make that the vocal point of the promotion, because he knew it was getting views. So it was never about correcting a personal blind spot. He never wanted to make anything right with that because he was drawn to men or anything. He just wanted to do it because he wanted to get people to read his book that is terribly written and not funny and bad. So that's why they're probably not liking it or reading it. What else did he say? I had the idea to read a book a day, make a video. I noticed it performed well on TikTok. So, blah, blah, blah. I don't really care. I don't really like men. It's been one of the roughest weeks of my life. Maybe just say sorry and delete your account. He says he's being portrayed as a misogynistic incel and that his book is being portrayed that way. But yeah, what you gotta understand is that the main character is not supposed to be likable. He is deeply unwell. He's a deeply unwell person, even though it's a self-insert of you. Or because the man in the book is also 33 and the woman is 22. And then he says somewhere, "Oh, when I was 30, I met a woman that was in her early 20s and she changed my life." So, we could tell. We could have guessed that. With troubling intrusive thoughts, and the rest of the book is essentially a projection of his subconscious. If you know, you know. We don't know, we don't want to know. It's about healing from spicy shame at its core, and also there are literally countless meme references in that book, so it's not to be taken seriously, okay? It is a book for the chronically online. I feel like only people who get meme humor will understand this book. So maybe Booktok was not the place to advertise it, because Booktok doesn't understand memes. And if you are not understanding his memes, you are just a little slow maybe. You're just a little stupid, And you have to just get it. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. It's just been crazy, and I don't know. I don't know where to go from here, is what he says. And then someone commented maybe away. And I agree. I think the right thing to do is not post a video of you reading out a quote from your book to Ronald Reagan's grave, like he did. But instead delete your account and fuck off. He is not ever, after this whole situation, ever going to be able to normally publish a book. I would be very surprised if he was, okay? I would be really surprised if any publishing company would be like, okay, we're gonna take this man under our wing. He seems very unable to take any criticism at all, and so I think he would also just not be able to traditionally publish a book. He wrote this book within 3 months, by the way. He was like, okay, it's ready to go. I don't think he would be able to work with a company, with an editor, with a publisher, because he wants to do everything his way and everyone else is just stupid and can't do it right. And he's the only one who can do it right. And that's very much the vibe we're getting. So what's the moral of the story? What the fuck did I just tell you about for the past hour? I don't know. I don't know what the fuck this was. And I am so happy that I can delete all of this content off of my phone and never look at this man again, which I think I've shown him accidentally while showing you screenshots from TikTok, but here's a picture of him. I hope I remember to put it up. And I'm here's a picture, it's just me. I'm the man. So guys, you have to tell me, what do you think about the situation? What's your opinion on all of this? Do you not have an opinion? Please do not read this man's books. Don't give him the time of day, honestly. I just wanted to kind of tell you the story because I was following it so closely and it was so insane to me that all of this was happening, and the audacity of this man. As I just said, this was the last video that he posted, the one that I was quoting from the last one, and he says, I don't really know where to go from here. Instead of saying, I'm sorry, I upset the community, I was trying to promote my book and it wasn't right. I didn't do it right, and I guess this is just not the right space to promote my book. Period. You don't have to insult Booktok in the as you're going and say, oh, you're mean girls and you just don't get it because it's meme humor and probably only middle-aged men who've never touched a woman get it. Even though you're not an insult because you're engaged, which I don't really know if I believe that anymore. I hope you're happy, I hope your woman, I hope your fiance is happy, I hope she's living a great life, but honestly, if this is I think that this man is such a difficult, it would be so difficult to talk to him in real life. He's such a know-it-all, is the vibe where I'm getting from all of this content, that just knows everything better, and it would be so infuriating to try and talk to him in real life, and I would not want him to be my server. I would not want him to be my server. I would not tip. I would not be tipping this man, and that's it. I'm so over it. I'm so happy this is over. There was some other Booktok drama that happened 2 days ago or a day ago, and I think I'll talk about that in my next video. Next book hater podcast club. What the fuck is my podcast called? Book hater club podcast episode. I'll talk about it then. It's not that big of a drama. It's not like as intriguing as this over multi-day saga where more and more shit came out about this man. But I will also be talking about the publishing industry, and other than that, my next video will be the reading vlog for Once Upon a Broken Heart. It's right there. And then after that, you're getting the review, and then you're getting the podcast episode. As I said, I'm going back to university now. I just had a lesson online this morning, and I joined it. And then the professor was like, "Oh, Sophie, you still have your microphone on." But I don't have a microphone plugged into my computer all the time, so I can't turn anything off. There's just no audio or no microphone device. Okay, y'all, my camera overheated, so it just stopped filming. I'm just gonna do a quick outro, okay? I love that with my videos. I feel like it's kind of the brand now. They get progressively more deranged, or I get progressively more deranged the longer the videos are. Like, by the end of the video, I look like a complete mess. It's dark outside and everything. I feel like I always do that when it's a really long video, especially with my reviews, because oftentimes I have to film them in sections because I don't have any batteries for my cameras. Okay, girl, you're rich? No, for this camera. So they're on the way though. I ordered them, and then I can film my videos if they don't overheat, if the camera doesn't overheat. So anyway, I'm not gonna plug in the microphone audio. Sorry, I'm too lazy. I'm just gonna pull it right from the camera and edit it and then upload it. I love you guys so much. Thank you to my members for supporting me. Again, they get my videos 24 hours early, so if that's something you're interested in, then consider becoming a member. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope your blood is not as boiling as mine was. The camera was also overheating. It was also boiling, so let's never talk about this man again. Let's try to keep misogynistic men out of Booktok, you know, keep doing what we do. And I hope I see you again in my next video, which is my Once Upon a Broken Heart review. And if I don't, then I don't. But if I do, I do. And I love you so much. Peace and love. Stay happy, stay healthy. Bye bye.